The Marumba Project. The Marumba Project is a partnership between TDT and EucanAid. EucanAid, an NGO based in Brussels, have a policy to commit to a community for at least 3 years. And in 2015 they were looking for a partner organisation who had representatives on the ground, and they found this in TDT. Linus Buriani, our local representative in the south, put a convincing case for supporting Marumba, a remote village of about 2,000, close to the Mozambique border and deep in Mtwara region, and so this was then agreed. This was a new way for TDT to work, working with a shared commitment to one place over a longer period of time and focusing on education, water, health and income generation. Since 2015, this has been steered and managed by Linus, working through the village council and local government. And here are some of the achievements since then. New classroom blocks with water and lighting. And you can see Kevin Curley, who was the project officer at the time, in one of the new classrooms in the top right. It has also provided toilet blocks for both staff and students, and this year a new kindergarten building, which you can see in the bottom right. Also this year has provided a photocopier, printer and computer with training for staff and local ward officers. One of the more noticeable impacts is that each year since 2018, neighbouring ward primary schools have come to the school for a month in the summer to improve and prepare their Standard 7 students for their exams. And this has resulted in the ward primary schools now moving up to second in the district. Previously, for water, villagers were going on a 16-kilometre round trip to the river Rovuma, where also there was a risk of crocodiles. So quite early on, TDT and EucanAid provided a new borehole and hand pump 1 kilometre south of the village. There is plenty of water from this borehole, and there are now proposals to start a vegetable garden and fish ponds nearby. Less successful, however, was the tree planting scheme, which was undertaken in conjunction or in association with the primary school. 3,000 trees were initially planted with great enthusiasm with the Environment Club. However, there's been poor survival, and some of the lessons learnt include starting just with a few trees and plant trees that are especially resistant to goats. The health projects are centred around the village dispensary. First of all, it was provided with a concrete rainwater harvesting tank and solar for the fridge and vaccines. And you can see in the middle here some of the issues that the dispensary has to treat on a daily basis. In 2019, we had the grand opening ceremony for a new maternity ward with toilets and lighting provided. This also appeared on national TV. The first birth was in August of this year. One of the headline wider benefits of this project is that 20% of the people using the dispensary are villagers who are crossing the river Rovuma and coming up from Mozambique in order to use the better facilities at Marumba. Were traditional beekeepers in the area. They were given initial training from the Tanzanian Forest Authority, and 90 hives were built and some protective clothing provided. Initially, the hives were spread out north of the village but had little success, as you can see in the bottom left. Linus advised them to move them nearer the river, and this they did with great results. So by Easter of this year, 50 hives were full of bees and honey was being harvested. The group need help now with marketing, and they have very ambitious plans to make 300 more hives from the profits from their first honey harvest. And we are looking to see if we can connect the group with Innocent Makasu, who's the Bees Abroad representative living in Mtwara, but also happens to be the Mtwara District Bee Officer. Although there have been challenges, undoubtedly one of the reasons for the project's success is the ability to stick with projects over the longer term and iron out snags. The second has been the invaluable continuity and skill of Linus as he has steered the project forward. The project has plans to bring itself to completion over the next 2 years, following up proposals for further income generation and some educational improvements. I'd like to thank all those involved and also Africa Palms for their financial support in many of these projects.